Well, would you look at the time? We're back in Dead Cells country. Why, you may ask? Because it's Castlevania time, baby! I may have gotten ahead of myself there. What I'm saying is that there's a new piece of expansion DLC for Dead Cells, and it's the return to Castlevania. It was revealed at the Game Awards a few months back, and I've been vibrating with excitement ever since. More Dead Cells, you say? I'm not opposed to it. Content based on Castlevania, a franchise that I love despite the fact that Konami seems less than uninterested in making new games for it? Yes, please! Either way, I'm Habood Added, and I'm here to tell you what's good about Dead Cells' return to Castlevania. Yee, I'm so excited! The basic setup is a bit different than what we normally do in stuff like this. The DLC is accessible from the get-go and can be found in the prison starting area. The first time you load up the game after adding it, you find Richter Belmont, yes, that Richter Belmont, who then asks the prisoner for their help in slaying Dracula because the island's wonky magical energies are making a connection with the castle. How this is happening is never explained, and frankly, it doesn't need explaining. It's a big, goofy celebration of Castlevania, and I'm all for it. It takes these already established characters and blends them perfectly with Motion Twin's wonderfully dry sense of humor. It's one of the many ways that they just get Castlevania, and it extends to all of the areas, items, and bosses added with this expansion as well. The in-between rooms all look like save rooms at times. The Collector, the vendor who trades cells for upgrades, was replaced by Shanoa from Order of Ecclesia, which is an upgrade for me. You'll encounter Richter, Alucard, Maria, and more characters, fight Dracula and Death's bosses. Items, tools, sub-weapons, and main weapons from Castlevania are all present. From the cross as a ranged weapon, Maria's cat as a familiar, summoning bats from a vampire cloak, holy water as grenades, Alucard's shield, Alucard's rapier, the Morning Star, the motherfucking vampire killer, and more are included in the new 14 weapons and tools that are included in the DLC, and they're all awesome so far. These are also included in the vast array of weapons and items in Dead Cells proper, and can be mixed and matched with them both in and out of the castle for some wild new builds. They all feel great to use and add some more depth and complexity to build crafting, which I'm a huge fan of. But these aren't the only things available in Return to Castlevania, oh no. This expansion adds 4 new biomes for you to explore filled with new enemies to fight and bosses to confront. These are what truly steal the show. The castle's outskirts, Dracula's castle proper, the defiled necropolis, the Master's Keep, are all lovingly recreated in great detail. The architecture, the aesthetics, and the moods therein are all shown in painstaking detail. And if you couldn't tell that Motion Twin worshipped the ground Castlevania walked on before, it's apparent now. All of the enemies are iconic mainstays in Castlevania's bestiary. Mermen, werewolves, harpies, living suits of armor, bats, skeletons. They all show up and, like everything else in Dead Cells, will kill you dead. If you aren't careful. While I love all of the aesthetics and fan service included in Return to Castlevania, it's still an expansion to Dead Cells, which means it's still one of the best roguelikes on the market. The baseline mechanics that I went over in my previous Dead Cells video from a few months back all still apply. It's just that they all have some new toys to interact with, and all of those toys are awesome. It's like if you had both your birthday and the major holiday of your respective religion happening on the same day. There's also a handful of new bosses, at total 3. Doesn't seem like much. But it doesn't matter when those fights are Dracula and Death. Well, I can't speak to Dracula because I haven't gotten to him yet. Death is the new hardest boss in Dead Cells for me because, whoo boy, does that bony punk kick my butt 6 ways from Sunday. But like everything else in this expansion, the fight with Death is, at the very least, feels like an homage to the fights with Death in Castlevania proper. He's Drax's right-hand man. He's supposed to be hard as nails because he wouldn't be a good dragon otherwise. Speaking of homages, we gotta talk music. Konami has not only allowed Motion Twin's composer Yuan Laulan, aka Valmont, to add a staggering 51 tracks of music across the Castlevania series, he's also done 12 covers of iconic Castlevania tunes such as Vampire Killer, Tragic Prince, Dragon's Castle, and Bloody Tears in Dead Cells musical stylings, and it goes so hard. Like, Valmont didn't need to go this hard, but he did, and I appreciate it. Oh, and there's also a bunch of neat alternate costumes that you can use, and even one that just straight up turns you into Richter as he appears in Symphony of the Night, moveset and all. It's cute, I like it. Overall, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania is a great expansion to an already great game. It manages to be both a heartfelt tribute to one of the biggest franchises in video games and a worthwhile expansion to one of the best games of the last half decade. This experience was a fantastic reminder of how much I love Castlevania, and I'll be forever grateful for it. I'm not a begging man, but Konami, please, for the love of all that is unholy, let Motion Twin make a new Castlevania game. This team gets it so much! And that will be it for this week's video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I've really helped out the channel, and I deeply appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.